look, between the non-delegation doctrine, between the chances of Trump winning, between the Supreme Court being dominated by Republicans for decades, not a lot of hope for the future. I'm not saying it's hopeless, but we haven't been able to deliver a lot of hope today. Well, today, in this moment, I should say, we're going to bring you some hope. This is some students from a middle and high school students in Baltimore as Melania Trump goes out and gives an opioid awareness speech. Now, just the idea that you would go on an opioid awareness tour to high school students is indicative of you trying to obfuscate what the problem has been and is. Right? Like this is not, the opioid abuse came from over prescriptions of prescription drugs that were sold under false pretenses. In some instances, were sold with a full awareness that there was abuse going on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And a world that promotes alienation, malaise, disconnection, and not to mention like material poverty.
There's some of that, although there was a report that came out yesterday, and I've mentioned this before, but now apparently the report has been finished by a NIBAR study, that African Americans suffered a disproportionate amount of deaths during the opioid crisis because doctors, it's twofold. One, they lacked insurance. Two, doctors have a racial bias when it comes to acknowledging pain. And so they prescribed black people less opioids, and there were less deaths. And there's no reason to believe that the immiseration rates for black people and white people were significantly different. Now, you may have pockets of despair where it's all white towns. But the but for in this instance is the readiness and the availability that they had to getting opioid prescriptions.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm of factors.
Indeed. But high school students are not going and in a position to go to their doctors and say, don't give me opioids. It's absurd. So kudos to these middle school and high school students who provide, even though they're in Baltimore, a Bronx cheer to the First Lady.
Okay. Thank you, Jim, for the warm introduction and for inviting me to join you today for such an important event centered on opioid awareness. I'm in this fight with you, and I'm fighting for you. I encourage you, if you are struggling with addiction right now, reach out for support. Whether it's a teacher, parent, friend, grandparent, coach, or pastor, talk to an adult in your life that you trust. It is never too late to ask for help.
Yeah, booze.
You know those Scared Straight programs where you bring...
Yes.
And how they have the reverse effect? Actually, there's been studies...
Oh, is that right?
Actually, yeah, you basically can help. I don't know what the mechanism is, but it can have the reverse effect. I feel like this is a similar thing.
They meet a bunch of cool criminals.
This is like you hear about, too many people are asking their doctor for opioids when they have pain or something, whatever the logic of this message is here, and then they're going to probably do it. I don't know.
It's basically just her going out and saying, like, if things are tough, ask for help to somebody.
Be best.
Unbelievable.